I just kind of had the idea to go revisit one of the projects I worked on maybe 2 years ago when I was just starting to build my own software projects. So the project I want to show you today is all about slide film. This is a slide film image that I digitized, but it has a black border around from where I had like hooked up my camera and shown light through the photo. And so I want to be able to auto crop all these perfectly. And I manually did this for 875 photos in Lightroom. And I was able to, 2 years ago, build a tool that grabbed all the data from that manual action, and 0 to 1, with 0 being the left side, 1 being the right side. I believe it's then 0 being the top, 1 being the bottom. So what it's saying is where's the crop value from the sides? So about 6.7% in, and then on the right side it's 95% over from the left side, the top and the bottom. And then the last value, this fifth value, is just the rotation. So this is the data that Lightroom uses when it sets its crop values on an image. And I was able to export all this data for 875 images. Here's one of them. So what I want to show you today is how to take an image like this, feed it into my OpenCV machine learning pipeline, and then get out results that you can see. But I really want to talk more about the process of writing software. This was hacked together super fast. So within an hour, I had this kind of up and running. And now what you can see here is it's very confidently detecting the edge. Is this how I would crop it? No. So it's not quite what I wanted. Once you do this once, right, you can do an individual image. To ask Claude to build a whole pipeline to run all of them. This is not saying that it's accurate, but when I started, it wasn't detecting any edges at all. And I didn't know why. I didn't write the code. I just asked Claude to write this code. And then I asked it to just look at the report that we generate, which is what you're seeing here on the right, and iterate. So maybe come up with some hypotheses about what's going wrong. And you can see the key changes it made along the way. We kept lowering these canny thresholds. I'm not a computer vision person. I don't know computer vision through and through. I would like to. It's something I would like to learn. But my intro into computer vision is this, asking the current state of AI to take its best guess at how to improve. And at least what you can see here is that we went from not being able to detect crops on any image to now basically almost every image out of that 850 is being detected with the current state of the model. How accurate is it? Well, okay, it says that when we compare your intersection over union, which is to say how similar is the result that you detected versus the manual results that we had selected and hand done, we're getting 0.898. Mean corner error is just that how many pixels away is any given corner in the image compared to the manual data. All right, so I asked it to do some nice to haves here. And let's do this. So now you can see this is the worst image in that 875 that it detected. Kind of makes sense why it had a hard time detecting where to crop this image. Most of the image is pitch black. Let's do a different hard one. Okay, hey, this is actually kind of the same thing. A ton of this image is black, so how does it know where to draw the lines? If I was to do this manually, I would see a little bit more here. So maybe we can ask it to really refine itself and be okay with including tiny dots of light, even if the majority of the area is dark. Let's take a look at some of the best images. So this is saying the corner error of this image 95 is only 9.6 pixels off. I'd like it to be even better, ideally you'd get down to sub 1 pixel. But hey, that's pretty good. So in this case, we've got this picture of a donkey, and you can see that it cropped decently well. I think we could probably also ask it to bias in slightly, and that way you don't get these little black corners. But this is where I'm at, right? I went through only a few iterations. How many was it? 7 iterations and we're here from nothing working at all. And so now the goal is, okay, if I have this working to this level, at least for some images, can I just run this through and through and see if Claude can slowly iterate and tweak the values and optimize for these 2 parameters, intersection over union, as well as the corner error. And if it can get those smaller and smaller to be almost non-existent errors, then we have done the matching between my set of manually plotted points and what the model is capable of finding for any new given image. This isn't a convolutional neural network, this is just OpenCV. And I don't know the library, I don't even know the terminology about OpenCV, but I can build a pipeline that says, hey, set this up, generate a report, go check your work like a research project that you learned in high school. Use the scientific method, but then have Claude be the one actually running the experiments. And I get the feeling that a lot of what research is, and I get the feeling about a lot of what writing code is more boilerplate than we're willing to admit to ourselves. What I'm actually arguing is that this raises the floor of what anyone is allowed to be able to do with a computer. Keep iterating and drive down those error values. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. So it's changing some of our default parameters. I just have one file where all the parameters are supposed to be kept, and it updates this file. All right, so I just asked it to fix the visibility, and now we're getting this nice chart and graph that you can see the correlation. Oh, that's interesting. The corner error is still by, 30-ish pixels mean, 38 pixels mean. What is the target versus the threshold? Now that I have these performance distributions for each iteration, I'm curious if I could have it animate the change and over time and watch them, get better and better, where your error goes down, your intersection over union goes up.
Thanks for joining me for this random idea. I threw this together in a quick afternoon just to see what I could do with this iterative approach on setting up a system where the model can self-improve. This is a very specific niche topic around cropping conveniently, but it's something I do all the time when I take film photos. So the application would be nice for me to have, where I just load in film photos, click go, and it crops them all, especially when I'm doing work for someone and have hundreds of photos to go crop. When I'm cropping all the photos manually, I just get way too particular about, exactly where to place it. And if it was auto done, I'd be happy with it. Let me know if there's anything specific like this that you're curious about thinking through. I love the idea of understanding the process of improving the whole system. And so this is fun to watch your metrics automatically update as you build, the next version of something. Thanks for joining, and I will see you next time.